Dramatic storm sounds intensify. In a world where nature's fury seems unstoppable, what if I told you humans are already pulling the strings of our planets? Imagine a future where we don't just predict storms, but control them. This isn't science fiction, it's happening right now. Visual time-lapse of clouds forming and dissipating unnaturally. For decades, governments and scientists have been quietly manipulating our atmosphere, bending the very forces of nature to their will. Cloud seeding operations are increasing rainfall by up to 30% in drought-stricken regions, while top-secret hurricane modification programs push the boundaries of what's possible. But that's just the beginning. As climate change threatens our very existence, a new era of geoengineering is dawning. From blocking out the sun to creating artificial glaciers in the desert, humanity is taking drastic measures to save our planet. Yet with great power comes great responsibility and unforeseen consequences. Sound of wind howling. Welcome to the hidden world of climate engineering and weather control, a realm where science, politics, and the fate of our planet collide. Visual, global map highlighting areas of weather modification. Let's dive into how humans are already controlling the weather on a massive scale. Cloud seeding, once a fringe concept, has become a mainstream tool in the fight against drought. By dispersing silver iodide or other particles into clouds, we can increase rainfall by up to 30% in targeted areas. China used this technique to ensure clear skies for the 2008 Beijing Olympics, while the United Arab Emirates has invested heavily in cloud seeding to combat water scarcity. But it's not just about making it rain. Governments have also attempted to tame one of nature's most destructive forces. Project Stormfree, a joint effort by the U.S. government and scientific community, aimed to weaken hurricanes by seeding them with silver iodide. While the project was officially discontinued, rumors persist of ongoing classified research into hurricane modification, visual, thermal imaging of urban heat islands. Even our cities are inadvertently changing local climates. The urban heat island effect, caused by the concentration of heat-absorbing surfaces like concrete and asphalt, can raise temperatures by several degrees compared to surrounding rural areas. This phenomenon is altering weather patterns, increasing energy consumption, and exacerbating air pollution in major metropolitan areas worldwide. Sound of futuristic machinery humming. As impressive as these current efforts are, they pale in comparison to the ambitious geoengineering projects being proposed to combat climate change on a global scale. One of the most controversial ideas is solar radiation management, essentially creating a planetary sunshade to cool the Earth. Visual animation of reflective particles being dispersed in the stratosphere. Scientists have proposed injecting reflective particles into the stratosphere to mimic the cooling effect of volcanic eruptions. This could potentially lower global temperatures by reflecting a small percentage of incoming sunlight back into space. While the concept sounds like something out of a sci-fi novel, some researchers argue it could buy us crucial time to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Another radical approach targets the oceans, Earth's largest carbon sink. Ocean fertilization involves dumping iron or other nutrients into the sea to stimulate phytoplankton growth. These microscopic plants absorb carbon dioxide as they photosynthesize, potentially sequestering vast amounts of CO2 in the deep ocean. However, large-scale experiments have yielded mixed results, and concerns remain about unintended impacts on marine ecosystems. Visual time-lapse of artificial glacier forming in a mountain valley. In the high-altitude deserts of India's Ladakh region, a more localized form of climate engineering is taking shape. Here, innovative ice stupas, artificial glaciers created by diverting and freezing mountain streams, are providing much-needed water for agriculture during dry spring months. This low-tech solution demonstrates how targeted interventions can have significant impacts on local communities facing climate challenges. Sound of thunder rumbling. Yet as we push the boundaries of weather control and climate engineering, we must grapple with the potential for unintended consequences and ethical dilemmas. The specter of weather wars looms large, as neighboring countries could find themselves in conflict over the effects of climate modification efforts. Visual map showing potential weather modification conflicts. Imagine a scenario where one nation's cloud seeding program diverts rainfall from its neighbor, leading to drought and economic hardship. Or consider the geopolitical implications if a powerful country develops the ability to steer hurricanes away from its own shores and potentially towards rival nations. The lack of international regulations governing weather modification technologies makes these scenarios all too plausible. Even well-intentioned climate engineering efforts can have unforeseen ecological impacts. Artificial rain in one region could disrupt natural weather patterns elsewhere, affecting wildlife migration, plant pollination, and entire food chains. The complex interconnections of Earth's climate system mean that any large-scale intervention carries risks we may not fully understand until it's too late. Visual graph showing rising CO2 levels despite technological interventions. Perhaps the most insidious danger of climate engineering is the moral hazard it presents. If we believe we can simply fix global warming through technological means, Will we lose the urgency to address the root causes of climate change? Relying on geoengineering as a silver bullet could lead to complacency, allowing greenhouse gas emissions to continue unchecked while we mask the symptoms rather than treat the disease. Sound of wind chimes and gentle rain. As we stand at the precipice of a new era in humanity's relationship with our planet's climate, we must proceed with both ambition and caution. The power to control, weather, and engineer our climate is a double-edged sword, one that could either save us from catastrophe or lead us further down a path of environmental destruction. Visual montage of natural landscapes and sustainable technologies. The future of climate engineering will require unprecedented international cooperation, rigorous scientific research, and a deep ethical framework to guide our actions. As we explore these powerful new tools, we must never lose sight of the fundamental goal: creating a sustainable future for all life on Earth. In the end, our ability to control the weather may prove less important than our capacity to control ourselves, to make the difficult choices and changes necessary to live in harmony with our planet's natural systems. The true test of our species may not be whether we can master the forces of nature, but whether we can master our own impact on the world around us. Final shot. Earth from space, slowly transitioning from night to day. As dawn breaks on this new age of climate intervention, the choice is ours. Will we wield our growing power over the weather with wisdom and restraint, or will our attempts to control nature lead us further from the balance we seek? The answer may determine not just the climate of our planet, but the very future of humanity itself. Fade to black with sound of gentle rain.